Greetings, my fellow reptiles. My name's Scyushi, and today we're going to be covering the Trove food. Yes, that's right. Food is in this game. This is going to be in the PC version only because this is going to end up coming out with the gardening update. It's going to be a very brief tutorial, but I know that a lot of you guys I've seen in the club kind of have been asking, what is with this food tab here? So I've actually got a mod so it changes the positioning of the HUD, but there is going to end up being a tab related for food. So food is quite literally gotten out of the gardening, and then you go to the vegetable sink and you can see right here, certain vegetables like unicorn shard, Kumato and stuff, these are going to be able to be converted into a food resource. So what these are going to end up doing is just giving you stats. So it's quite literally going to end up giving you extra stats. Let's go through them all right here. The unicorn shot is 250 physical damage, so not really that big of a deal for anybody that's at mid to a late tier of the game, but pretty useful for somebody at the beginning of the game, except you gotta get all the way up to the gardening tab in the first place to end up crafting some of these resources. So I don't really see the point. I mean, I guess extra stats are extra stats, so I can't complain, but I don't really use the food. And then 2 jump, so that could end up being useful if you don't have any jump from mastery. 10% to attack speed could possibly end up being one of the most useful. I can actually craft 67 of them. Wow. So that would be kind of a means to an end where you would have to continuously grind more and more of these gardening resources just so that you could keep these buffs on your character permanently. Kind of permanently, but I'll explain that in a bit. It's a little bit tricky. So then there's 5 to max energy, which is pretty much useless. 250 to magic damage instead. 0.5% crit hit. That's okay. That's not bad. 20 cooldown speed. Do they mean 20%? Like, I don't know what that means. There is no value of just 1, 2, 3, 4 to cooldown speed. That doesn't make any sense. Like, whoever put this here and wrote that down is just, it's so bad. It doesn't make sense, man. 1 experience gain. Again, is that 1% more experience gain? Or do you just eat it and get 1 XP? Like, you know? And then 10 to superstition, which superstition is a joke stat. That's why this also lasts for 23 hours. So each of these are going to end up lasting a differing amount of time. This one lasts an hour, this one lasts 40 minutes, so on and so forth. The reason for that is because as you end up equipping a piece of food, now it has actually taken effect. The first piece of the Kumatos has actually started counting down. So it's at like less than 40 minutes now, right? Now, this is important to keep in mind because you can actually put stacks on stacks on stacks of food onto your food slot. But how do you end up salvaging them? Well, I'll tell you, wise guy. If we actually right-click it, we can pull 2 of them out because one of them has started counting down from that 40-minute timer. It is going to eventually end up updating and showing how much time is actually remaining. But the fact is that this is now a changed item. It's a different code from the rest of the food. So that's why this is something that we can't end up pulling off of our person. However, if you just outright don't want this anymore, maybe it's got like 10 minutes left or something like that, you can always dominate it with another vegetable instead. But keep in mind that that's going to delete that current one. And then even if we pull all these off, you can see that we've got one of them again that is technically under the 60-minute mark and thus is now a changed item as far as the item's code is concerned. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all there is to the food. It's not like an overcomplicated system or anything like that. It is kind of cool. I don't really see a purpose in any of the passive stats, but that's just because I've been in game for such a long time. Let me know what you guys think. Is this a good iteration to the game? I mean, in all honesty, I personally don't know why they spent so much time working out all these mechanics for the gardening that nobody really asked for. But maybe that's just me. I mean, I would say that this is probably one of the least exciting updates that we've ever had with this game. You know, even when I was doing the geode caves, when that first came out, at least a lot of you guys were interested in the videos and in the tutorials and stuff like that. For all this gardening stuff, I mean, I've already had my tutorials covering it, and it seems like everybody's already just like, ugh, more gardening, you know? So that's why I haven't really had tutorials on the gardening for quite some time. But I felt that this food tutorial is long overdue. Thanks for watching, though, everybody. Very much appreciate it. Don't forget to smash like, sub, hit that reptilian button right there, which is, incidentally, the subscribe button. I kind of messed up my outro. Bye.